can see I have my helper here today, which is appropriate because if you saw my card yesterday, I'm going to be doing, I have a new stand, or a stand that's been fixed, so I can't see my phone. So I'm gonna try this and see if it works. That's why it was on the other side when I started. We'll see if I get it right. I may have to make this card twice. But I'm going to do a second card today using the Foxy Friends and the Painted Seasons Designer Series paper. The paper is free, and you can go back and check this one. This will be the video that I posted just before this, so if you go to my channel, it'll be on there. But I'm going to use the Foxy Friends again, which is, at least 2 years old. It may even be 3 years old in the catalog, but I know it's been this is at least its second year. And then I'm also going to use a super fun set that you will be able to get in March. It is called More Than Words, and it is a Sale-a-bration coordination stamp set. So it's specifically designed to go with some of the stamp sets, like the frogs and the cupcakes. So it's designed to go with those, but I'm gonna pull in the Christmas words that are in there because the foxes don't have any words. I'm gonna do one more card, and it's gonna, with the Foxy Friends, it's gonna use the Because Adulting is Hard, which my mom, you know, she's older than me, obviously. She thinks that's a very funny saying. I'm midway because I have, you know, a generation under me who's an adult who thinks that's a great saying. So I've heard it. Mom's like, have you heard that saying? You know, when you grew up a certain generation. My grandmother would have thought that that was just the worst saying ever. Because adulting is adulting. But I'm going to make a card, the last one in this series, that will use that saying. So I'm going to use the Christmas paper, obviously, because I want to use the Christmas words. And so this time I'm going to use the pieces of the Foxy Friends that make the deer. And I'd said in my video where I did the autumn card that I thought that the deer was maybe the first video I ever did, and it was. I went back and checked. So if you want to go back and check that, you can. And it was back when I used to do fast videos because I was still working full-time and I didn't have time for a lot of editing, so it was easier for me to just stamp and then edit later. So I just took the words out and sped them up. So it's a super fast video. So I show you how to line the stamps up, but it goes fast. So here's how you do it. What you want to do is, because this is a one-piece stamp and the Foxy Builder Punch is like in pieces, and it works with some of the stamps in the set are these pieces. This one is not, the deer punch. So I need to punch it in pieces. I'm using crumb cake because that's the color that's in the paper. So that determined what color my deer would be. So you can see down here that I'm gonna need my paper to be able to go in. It's always tricky because you would think that you need to stamp it like here and that's gonna reach in. But then when you go to stick your paper in, often it's the wrong side of your paper. So I usually stick my paper in first. I'm gonna stamp it down here and then see just exactly where that's gonna be. So it is down here that I need her little face, his face. I'm not going to use ribbon on this one. I used ribbon on the other one. So my little fox was a girl. This little deer's going to be a little boy because there's not going to be any ribbon. So we're just going to, he reminds me of my little boy cat that was just on the table when I started the video. So there we've got that, and you can see it gave me some extra pieces. If I was so inclined, I could try to stamp that out, but I'm not going to do that while I'm on camera. So now I need his body. So for his body, I can tell that it's going to stamp right here. So what I'm going to do is kind of move, but you can see it's upside down. So if without that little template, I would probably stamp this way and then I'd go line the punch up and it would be like, yeah, right, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna move this over and stamp right here, which is gonna, that head's gonna pop out, but that'll be okay. And then this set also comes with some adorable little feet. Let me find where I put his little feet. Maybe I didn't get them out of the stamp set. Let me see if his feet are still in here. There's so many little pieces, and because I did the card the other day, I thought that I pulled all the ones out that I need. little feet, are you in here? I don't even see where they go in here, and I know they're in here because I made the card once already at my friend's house. Here they are. So he's got some little legs, some little baby legs. And I'm going to do those in the espresso because that's the color that's also in here. And I'll go ahead and stick those on with the face block because I'm going to use his little face in black as well, or in espresso. So in these, just because I'm going to punch, if you're not going to punch him out, they can go a little lower than his body, but because I'm going to punch, I want him to make sure that they stay on his body. So again, we're going to slide it in the way that I had my head, and then you see it's lined up the right way. Because these punches, you kind of have to think them through, and you can see I'm going to lose a bunch, and I could cut strips of paper, but it's white cardstock, and you know. So you can see it has his head, but when you go to mount his head on top, it's going to cover that part up. So that's all I need for those two little pieces. So move that punch out of the way, but I do need this again for some other pieces. And then the very same thing I did, if you watched the video to get the greenery to match on the mushroom card. On that one, I took this piece, which when you get it, it's kind of like a long sprig like this. And on that one, I wanted it to be bent up like this. On this one, I'm going to make a wreath. So I want it to be so it will almost be like a half circle. So because they're photopolymer, you can kind of bend them to be the way that you want. And then I've cut this to be a little square. There's no big shot on this card. The other one I used a stitch rectangle. This one I'm just going to go with just a square that I cut to be the size that I wanted to see as much of the paper as you could on this one. So I'm going to do half that way and then just turn it around, and I'm going to make the top match because it's almost going to match because it's a pretty good circle pattern. There you go. So I have the wreath, and then I'm going to, the set comes with these little pine trees, which in our case makes the perfect little Christmas tree. And this is Lemon Lime Twist, which is in the paper. And it's also going to be the background of my card. And it is also an outgoing in color. So as we get closer and closer to May, some of these things will start to run out because the outgoing in colors retire. And Lemon Lime Twist, I would say, is probably the most popular of those outgoing in colors. So if you have this pad and you love this color, then you will definitely want to get your refill because I can see those running out. Those often do run out. Let me go ahead and get his face. This is kind of a scattered card because there's lots of little bits and pieces all over. If you are mass producing it, do all of this things at one time. So just put his little face on there. There you go. It always looks so much better when he has a face. And then I'm going to take, because I don't want the white on here, I don't like the white, I want to fill him in. So I'm going to take my crumb cake blend, and this is the light one. And I do this a lot now that we have the blends when I do solid color stamping, because you have a lighter color of it. So just fill that in. And you can also just go then over where you stamped, and it fills in any of those little imperfections where it may not have stamped smoothly, or where you lifted up your stamp and it may have bubbled a tiny bit. This just fills it all in and makes it nice and clean. You could even go over your espresso on this one because this is a lighter color. So now he doesn't have a white tummy and he's all nice and coordinated. I'm going to do the same thing with his face. You can, I don't know, here, let me hold this up a little closer to the camera. You can see right here, like up in his little polka dots on the top of his head, like right in here, it just didn't stamp perfectly, which I could live with that because, you know, it's handmade. That's what we say. But just by taking this and kind of covering that up, it just kind of blends it all and it looks just a little bit better. And it doesn't take any time. In fact, one of my best tips and tricks for you is if you have some of the more bolder sentiment stamps, especially if you're doing them in black and you have your black blend and you like lift up and you know sometimes there's just like an ear gap in some of your letters. Just take your black blend and either tip depending on how big it is and kind of just fill that in. And it's magic, and then it looks like you stamped perfect every time. So here's my tree. And I am just going to take my poppy because it's a Christmas tree. And if you use the dot end, it just makes perfect little ornaments. I'm just going to fill some ornaments in. I'm going to add some bling to it too, so you don't need a ton of them. But just taking it from the woodland tree that it's intended to be in the stamp set and making it into a Christmas tree for our needs. When I made this deer card video before, it was not a Christmas card, it was a baby card. So I'd never actually used this stamp set as a Christmas set until I made this card. So I'm doing the same thing around the wreath where I'm just adding some holly berries because in this paper there are holly berries in the things. And just by lightly dotting with your small tip of your blend, you get a perfect little circle. And actually the circles that are in this set, in these leaves here, they're not perfect, so you are good. And then I'm going to take, this is my shaded spruce, and I'm just going to add a tiny little dot, or kind of like a stripe, not so much a dot as a tiny little line of color. The tip of each of my, or like the base of the leaves, which I did this exact same thing in the Fox video, and it doesn't take long, and it just gives a little bit more dimension to your wreath. And then I'm going to take the tip of my color lifter and just blend that into the leaves. It does squeak a little bit, but it makes it not be a perfect little line that you did in there. It just kind of smudges it around into the green. And you'll be able to see this better if you go to my website when I take the still photos. But we don't have, if I had a lemon lime twist marker or a blend, or if I was using a color where there was a lighter color of the color, I would use that instead of the color lifter. But because lemon lime twist is an outgoing color, it doesn't have a blend. And this works just as well. And actually this reminds me a little bit of the logo, the icon for my website. I'm partial to those cute, tiny little wreaths like that. I think it's super cute. So even this on its own would be cute on another card. So I'm just going to quickly cut my tree out. There's no punch for this, but it's super easy cutting. And we're almost done with the front of the card. It's all I can do. I'm going to show you the card. When I made this the other day, I was at my girlfriend's house. We do a series once a week for demonstrators, a Facebook Live. So if you are a demonstrator and you want to be part of that, you don't have to be in our group. But we just do it once a week. It's creating and sharing the life you love on Facebook. But I guess it was this week, earlier this week, we were doing stamps that coordinate with the paper. So that was where I came up with the fox, because we had all picked a set that had mushrooms in it, which there are several in our catalog that have mushrooms. So as I was sitting there waiting to film, I thought, well, this set would be really cute with the deer and the Christmas paper. So I did it there. So it's not exactly how I wanted it, really. So I'll show you the one I made there, and it does have ribbon on it because we were getting ready to film, and I was just working with the stuff that I had laying on the table. So today when I was messing with it a little bit more, this is a cuter one, a cuter version of the set, because now I have the stuff that I need. So I'm going to kind of put that up there, and then this is how you work this set, because he has antlers. So I'm going to put like my tree up there. I'm going to put him here. And then you need to figure out where his head's going to be because you're going to stamp the antlers onto the card. Nope, that's his feet. That's why I thought I thought I had his feet before. So see, you're going to put his head here. So let me ink this up. I'm going to use the espresso again. Ink his little antlers up. Piece of something stuck to my stamp. Sometimes these photopolymers get dusty stuff on them. Okay, so what I do is I ink them up. And then I kind of look where I want them. And then I just move his head. Might not be exactly where it was, but it's in the general vicinity. So there's his antlers. And now I'm going to stick this all to the front of the card. And then when I mount that, it'll be where I want it to be. Got this other second piece of Whisper White, and I'll go ahead and do the inside of the card. And let me tell you, I thought the outside of the card was as cute as could be. This inside is super, super cute. So this is the Sale-a-bration coordination set that I told you. It's more than words. And if you are a demonstrator, I think you can, yeah, you can still get it now, I'm fairly certain. If you are a customer, then on March 1st, you'll be able to get this, and it will only be available in March, so you won't want to miss it. Because this wishes word, I'm going to do Christmas wishes, but then there's other words that go on top of the word wishes. Birthday, I think. I don't know. I'll show you in a second. It's not just a Christmas set. So here's my lemon lime twist. Oh, and that's pitifully awful stamping. I was thinking, should I move it closer to me? Because for the second step, I'm going to have to. But, you know, God gave us two sides to the paper for a reason. Okay, so there's my wishes. I know it says birthday. There's Easter wishes, birthday wishes, and Christmas wishes. And New Year's wishes. So there's 4 different words that go on top of that. Now I'm going to take Call Me Clover. And then there's this fun little piece that looks just like half the word wishes. And I may have to move it out. I don't know because I can't see my camera. It may move out of range for a second. Especially now because I've used the second side of the paper that God gave me. I'm going to pull it just here. Because what you do is you line this up. You can do it any color or you could emboss. And so then you have this adorable little two-tone effect. So you could emboss, you could do the colors that match your card. It's super, super cute. And then I'm going to get my poppy. And then I'm using the word Christmas, obviously, to go with my Christmas card. For those of you who like to get a head start on your Christmas cards, this would be a super fun card. I know some of you do like Christmas in June or July events, and you get together with your friends and you stamp your Christmas things in the summer. And sometimes there's not like new and exciting stuff, so stock up on this paper. Okay, and then in this stamp set, this is the part, I mean, this is already cute as can be. Is that not cute as can be? But this is my favorite part that really just puts it over the edge. In the Foxy Friends stamp set, there's a tiny little footprint. So just to give proof that our reindeer was here, I'm going to give his little footprints. It reminds me of my cat when he walks straight across my table right while I'm filming. Actually, they've been pretty good recently. They haven't made an appearance now that I say that. The next video I shoot, they'll be in it. So there's the inside of my card. And don't you think that's as cute as can be? You can probably see the back side. You won't be able to see the wishes if you can see it through once I mount it. So now let's just stick this all together as I refrain from putting any ribbon on it. So I have my lemon lime twist. Put my Designer Series paper on. The back side of this is pretty too, but this is just cute as can be. And again, part of what inspired this was the fact that a couple of these pieces of paper are more whimsical. They match the stamp set perfectly, but the stamp set just is a realistic looking nature set, and I thought the paper cried out for a little bit of whimsy. And the next one will be my most whimsical yet. It's in my head, so I say that, so maybe it won't even turn out. But in my head, it's super cute. So there's the inside, and I just love that. I think it's cute as could be. So let's get the rest of it here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece on my poppy. It's not a square, that's better. And I'm gonna put this piece on here. I'm gonna mount my tree straight to the card. Actually, I'm gonna leave that there a second. I'm gonna do my deer first. And you need to do the head first, and then you can slide the body under the head. I found that works better. But if you do this on a dimensional, then there's plenty of room to slide the thing under, because you want your head. And I like to tilt it a little bit just so he's a little inquisitive deer. And then just put your adhesive on here, and then just kind of like tilt it under where you want it to be, like so. And then I'll put my tree on. That way I didn't have the tree where I didn't want the... And then, he's not just any reindeer, I'm gonna make him be Rudolph. Because, you know, when you have red rhinestones, then you need to have a Rudolph, right? And then I have, these are a carryover. They were from the holiday catalog, but you can still get them. They are the frosted and clear epoxies. I don't have any of the frosted left. I only have the clear. But both will work. And put a little tree topper on there. You know, about 4 weeks ago, I was so over Christmas. But it doesn't take very long before you're like, yeah, I can do Christmas again. And I'm just going to add a few more of the little red. These are in the annual catalog. So I have a shoebox swap with demonstrators, and it wasn't just my team, it's at my house, but it was any local demonstrators that wanted to come as well this weekend. And we are doing Celebration Part 2 and Celebration Coordination swaps. So I'm thinking this one, I may have created mine this morning when I did this one. I thought that maybe I was going to work on it tomorrow, but I kind of like this one. He's kind of speaking to me. And it uses both the paper and one of the stamp sets, and I hope in an unexpected way. But I hope that brings a smile to your face. I hope it brings a little February, how many days till Christmas, even though I'm really thinking how many days is it till spring. So here are the 2 cards so far in my Foxy Friends series with the Painted Seasons Designer Series paper. And stay tuned because I have one more coming for you. So have a great day. Bye.